obsession started in May of 2016. So me and my 3 friends had cut the last 3 classes of the day and traveled to the Gloucester quarries. 2 of my friends had already jumped. Fast forward an hour and I'm standing on the edge, just looking down 60 feet standing between me and the water. I heard Eric call up, "You got this, John, you can do it, just don't even think about it." But I was thinking about how it would feel when my body smacks the water and how they could possibly convince themselves to jump. I took 3 steps back. Eric started the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Alright, so why did I just do that? Partly to show off, but also because I focused my CAPS experience on adrenaline. So back about 8 months ago, when I first heard about the CAPS experience, I thought of it as a way to drop all of my classes. But as I learned more about it, I realized that I could go into this experience and conduct an entire research project, mostly independently, and really learn more than I would just in the classes. Of course, school is important, but I would be able to conduct interviews on my own and be able to produce a 15-page research paper and my own final product. So, what is adrenaline? Adrenaline is a hormone secreted by the adrenal gland in times of stress that increases breathing rate and blood flow. So, a lot of you guys might know adrenaline as the fight or flight response. So, what that means, with a little bit of an exaggerated experience, is if you're being chased by a bear through the woods, you can have the power to fight and knock that bear out, or flight and run 3 miles away from it without stopping. So while this may be an exaggerated example for a lot of you, adrenaline truly does have the power to change us. So when I think of adrenaline, I really think of it as going outside of your comfort zone, taking new risks and doing new things. So what that means, of course, getting out of your comfort zone is not doing the same thing as your normal everyday activities, really stepping out and trying to be different. So when I first started my research, I figured out that in the limbic system of the brain, which is more in the middle, there are what's called dopamine receptors. And what these do is they regulate how much adrenaline is released in your body. So in the average person's brain, their receptors are working properly, and they will limit the amount of adrenaline that is released. However, in what many of you guys might know as like an adrenaline junkie, their brain does not have the properly functioning receptors. So instead, what happens is their body produces more adrenaline, and it does not really stop turning it out at the proper time. So they get a bigger hit or a bigger rush and high of this adrenaline, and they will keep craving more and more. And so that's why you hear about like adrenaline junkies who always are looking for the next hit. They never settle with what they just have. So another thing I found about why people enjoy the rush of adrenaline is their stress coping abilities. So with people who enjoy this rush of adrenaline more than others, they're able to cope with the stress. So if they are maybe at bat, bottom of the 9th inning in baseball, they're able to calm themselves down through breathing techniques or personal techniques that many people may have, and they don't really fear this experience as much, and they're able to calm themselves down. So this real coping strategy is able to help people through times of distress and being able to take more risks. So a lot of you guys might be thinking, my brain works normally, I think, and I don't have the best stress coping abilities. So what do I do? So for you guys, what I would say is the best thing to do is to take that leap. Now, you're never going to really know until you take that first step. So the way you guys can do that is go one step at a time, take one risk every day to feel this adrenaline rush. So what I want you guys to do now is turn to the person in front or behind you or next to you, hopefully someone that you don't know too well. I want you guys to introduce yourselves and just tell them what you're doing this weekend.
Roy, I'm watching the Champions League. What are you up to this weekend? I'm Nick Brand. Hey, Steve. Have you noticed that all the weekends it's rain? And during every weekend, yeah, it's just like torture for teachers, you know? I guess these guys as well. I guess so. Yeah. I go to New Hampshire on the weekends, and it's bug season up there anyway. So mid-state, Tamworth, about a half hour south of Conway. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So for some of you guys, this is an ordinary everyday experience. You guys say hi to new people every day, meet new faces in the hallways. But for a lot of you guys, this is that big rush of adrenaline that you guys fear. So you guys might say, I do not want to say hi to a new person each day, and that is just causing fear for me. That's causing stress, and it is not an enjoyable sensation. However, for those of you who think that, each time you do it, it will get more and more comfortable. So each milestone you guys take, each time you say hi to a new friend, meet a new person, take a new test, you guys are getting more and more comfortable. You guys are reaching a milestone to get yourselves to take more risks. So let me talk to you guys about what I actually did for my CAPS research project. So I went out and interviewed about 60 people, and I asked them 3 questions. I asked them first, do you enjoy the rush of adrenaline? Second, what activities do you do that give you this rush of adrenaline? And third, are you an introvert or an extrovert? Now, since I don't have the power to scan people's brains and figure out if their dopamine receptors are functioning properly, this introvert versus extrovert question was my go-to to figure out maybe if there's a correlation between this and enjoying the rush of adrenaline. So what I did find was that 80% of people who enjoy the rush